It is Thursday, December 15th, 2016. I'm Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change. If it's Thursday, it can mean only one thing. 24/7 Sports Director of Recruiting, Steve Wiltfong. Steve, is it above 0 degrees in Indianapolis?
5 degrees, my wife said as she was walking out the door for work. And then I walked my ass right upstairs into my office where I have not had to brave the elements to get to work. But it looks chilly outside as I stare out I got a window view here in my office at home, and it looks nippy out there.
It's sunny but crisp. A crisp 4 degrees here in the Gem City. So SoCal Buck, not a fan of yours today. But anyway, I'm a fan of recruiting this year, that's for sure. I've been a fan of recruiting for a while, very much so since the Herb and Co took over. It's been an amazing few weeks. As I was talking to someone the other day, it almost feels kind of gluttonous in a good way, if that's possible. Let's talk about Darnay Holmes. That's kind of been, to me, of the entire recruiting process, this is probably the most surprised I was when the news started to come out via our intrepid reporters that Darnay Holmes could actually be favoring Ohio State. He was a long-time UCLA lean. You're still feeling as good about that? Sometimes when the story breaks and gets out there, there's some hesitation. What's your kind of vibe on the Holmes situation? Still full speed ahead?
I feel even better about it, which I posted on the front row the next day. When I crystal balled it, I felt good. Then I got even more info the next day that made me feel even better about it. So I feel good that right now, as we talk on December 15th, that Ohio State is the leader for five-star cornerback Darnay Holmes, the number 1 ranked corner in the country for 24/7 Sports, number 2 in the industry-generated 24/7 Sports composite. Buckeyes been working on this young man for 3 years. The first time I ever saw Darnay Holmes compete in person was at Friday Night Lights 2 summers ago when, we named him one of the top performers at the camp. He was outstanding, absolutely outstanding, a lockdown corner. He can play outside, play inside. He can play offense. He can return kicks. Just a fantastic player, has the toughness you're looking for. He's got an edge to him. And all the intel right now says Ohio State. And there's no more visits. I know, and I talked to my good friend Bill Kurlick yesterday, who said he had to defend me to a poster on the front row that brought up the Baron Browning thing and how that poster said I had it wrong. I never had Baron Browning wrong. Alabama led going into the Ohio State visit, and Ohio State flipped the script on the visit and drove the point home on the in-home on Tuesday. And Alabama was still recruiting him pretty dang hard even after that in-home. And, we reported that the Buckeyes needed to close the deal that night to make sure the marathon was over, and it was, and they beat Barron. For Darnay, there's no more visits. Does that mean something still couldn't change? Sure. Anytime you're about to make a big decision, you can start to doubt that big decision. That's just human nature. Even when you're buying a house, a car, or changing jobs, or whatever big decision, we make in our day to day, Darnay, I'm confident Ohio State leads, but when it's time to, put pen to paper, and could his mind change again? Sure, but I think he's going to be a Buckeye, and I love where Ohio State stands for him right now. I think they're the clear leader.
Ohio State, according to the top 247, already has the number 4 cornerback in the country committed. That's Sean Wade. As you said, Darnay Holmes is number 1. Does this have any effect on the player you guys have ranked number 2 at the position, Jefrrey Okudah, who has been long thought to be an Ohio State, if not lean, semi in the fold already?
Right, and Okudah's ranked 1 by the composite, and 2 by 24/7 Sports, and I think he's going to Ohio State too. I mean, he's one of the crystal ball forecasts I'm most confident about across the board. Okudah to Ohio State at the Army Bowl. So Bucknuts readers are going to want to make sure that they're tuned in for that ball game, which I think kicks off at 1:00 Eastern time on January 7th inside the Alamo Dome. A couple 5-star corners will be making their decisions, and Ohio State fans, I think, are going to be real happy.
Can you put into perspective, though, for a sec here, what it would be like for a team in Ohio to add 3 corners to the class, ranked 1, 2, and let's say 4 in the class? But here's the part I want to say. One's from California, one's from Texas, and one's from Florida.
Well, it just goes to show you the prowess that Urban Meyer and his staff have on the trail. And that's a collective effort to land kids like that and beat Powerhouse State U or multiple Powerhouse State U's for a young man of that caliber who's certainly coveted in his own backyard. You know, it's Urban Meyer. Obviously, his sleeves are rolled up as much as any head coach in America, understands recruiting as well as anyone, and understands what the head coach's role should be in recruiting. Urban Meyer is second to none when it comes to that. His staff works very hard. You know, Coach Combs is a fantastic personality. He's, you know, magnetic. So guys like being around him. The staff as a whole has just got a lot of good personalities, and then the off-field staff has a bunch of amazing personalities. Mick Marotti knows exactly what his role is as the strength coach during the recruiting process. So, and I say well-oiled all the time. You guys need to add well-oiled to the Bucknuts Mortified drinking game. It's
no doubt.
I mean, they're a machine. They're a machine. That doesn't mean they get everybody. And right now they're really hot. I mean, this is if they get Darnay, which I think they will. I mean, the average ranking per commit for this Bucknuts class has never been seen before like that in recruiting in 24/7 sports existence. So going back to 2010, they're blowing it out of the water. It's like a full 2 points better per commit average than anything we've ever seen. Ohio State's over 95. I think they're close to 96, and we've definitely never had anyone even over 94. We've never had anyone finish over 94, and Ohio State's close to 96. Yeah, Ohio State's got 6 5-stars committed and 10 4-stars. They got 17 guys, and the other one's a specialist.
I don't know. It's incredible. Speaking of Combs and Meyer, both braved the snow recently to go visit one of Michigan's finest, Donovan Peoples-Jones, has long thought to be a possibly futile chase. Some believe the best receiver in the country. He is committing this evening. All signs point to him slipping on a pair of khakis. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think he's going to Michigan, but Ohio State was first to offer him. They got it rolling for him many years ago. Had a great official visit to Columbus, but I thought this was close to a done deal for Michigan for a long time. And then, you know, he took his final official to Michigan, and I'd just be shocked. I mean, I guess I've been shocked before. On a smaller scale, I thought defensive tackle Javier Edwards was going to Arkansas, and he picked Colorado yesterday. So don't get them all right. So we'll see what happens, but I think Donovan's going to Michigan.
Bubba Bolden.
When they push up their date, that means I got to get my ass in gear and find out where he's going. I thought I had more time. My crystal ball is on Ohio State. That was coming off a great official visit. I know he really likes Ohio State. When I tweeted that, I thought Coach Fickle or Coach Combs would be a great hire. Bubba Bolden's mom highlighted my tweet and talked about being a little worried about not knowing who the coaches are at Ohio State in the secondary. I don't know. Urban Meyer's still going to be there. You know, that's something that Ohio State would be able to have an easy discussion. Greg Schiano's still going to be around, you know, or at least it looks like he will be. So, good programs have coaching turnover when it comes to the assistants. But Bubba's trending to USC. If I was doing some national satellite show right now, I could easily just say for 15 seconds that I liked Ohio State coming out of the visit, but USC's trending on the crystal ball and be done with it. But I feel like I owe your listeners more that I just honestly am not 100% sure what Bubba's going to do, what the numbers are for Ohio State right now. But it's definitely a storyline that I'll be digging on here soon.
The recruitment that figures to go the longest, though, as I look at my sheet here, is Marvin Wilson, whereas we're going to have some corners commit at the Army Bowl. Marvin Wilson is going to go to the Under Armour game and give you a group of 5 and ride it out
awesome.
for signing day. So what's your thought on Marv?
I think right now. So my crystal ball is LSU. I think Ohio State's for sure a finalist. I think Texas A&M's for sure a finalist. I think USC's for sure a finalist. I think Ohio State was eye-opening. We've talked about that before. I know for a fact it was the best game experience he's been to, and he went to a bunch of great game atmospheres this year, including the Buckeyes win in Norman. So he's seen Ohio State twice, once on the road, once at home. He saw Texas A&M beat Tennessee when both teams were undefeated. He went down to Florida State and saw them play Clemson. I believe that was when he was there. So he's been in some great atmospheres. I know for a fact the Ohio State one was the best atmosphere that he's been in from his perspective this year. Obviously, he knows the track record of Ohio State, and Larry Johnson and Urban Meyer and company have done a good job recruiting him. But it ain't easy to get to Ohio State from where he's from compared to some of them other schools for his family. So We'll see. LSU's recruiting. I mean, Ed Orgeron can recruit. I mean, he recruits. He will become one of the most active head coach recruiters in the country. I don't know what the results are going to be, but he understands it and works his ass off at it, and he's working hard there.
Multiple restraining orders being the result of that, but I digress. Today is media day for Ohio State. We get 15 players at 9 a.m. You get Herb at about 11:45, and then at 1 o'clock, then you get the rest of the assistants. So, in terms of
my guys,
total
Terry
action,
McLaurin and Jordan Fuller, they won't be in one of the 15, two of the 15. Those are my favorite Buckeyes right there, McLaurin and Fuller. Those are two guys I root for.
Well, you can give them a call during the interview time because they're not going to be very busy during that.
Right.
And so we'll be all over that. That coverage is going on all day. And, of course, this is the last time we're going to get a chance to talk to all these guys before they head for the Fiesta Bowl. We appreciate Steve stopping by and spreading knowledge. Stay warm.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.